The PFL vs. Bellator event appears to be generating a lot of attention in the MMA community, especially with unique belts presented to the winners of the champion versus champion bouts. Renan Ferreira and Ryan Bader for the heavyweight title, as well as Impa Kasanganay and Johnny Ebelin for the middleweight title, are expected to be major draws. And the catchweight bout between Bellator welterweight champion Jason Jackson and former PFL tournament winner Ray Cooper III adds an intriguing twist to the event. PFL's acquisition of Bellator last year was a major move in the MMA industry, and this event highlights the synergy between the two brands. The question of how long Bellator will run as a semi-independent company remains unanswered, but the stacked card suggests that this event will attract the attention of the combat sports world. MMA fans will definitely be eagerly watching the results of these high-stakes fights. The UFC has revealed the highly anticipated main event for its historic 300th pay-per-view event, a fight between Alex Pereira and Jamahal Hill for the prized undisputed light heavyweight title. Dana White, the UFC's CEO, intimated that the organization was considering several options until the last minute. In an exclusive chat with Sportsnet's Aaron Broner, Hill discussed the events leading up to the official news that he would headline UFC 300 vs. Pereira. Hill revealed this. "I checked that it had been locked in since I arrived at the UFC 298 location. We talked about it, and I agreed to it yesterday. Everyone wants to go to the UFC 300, but it wasn't on my radar until yesterday when he contacted me and told me of the scenario. Essentially, they needed a major event. They had some plans, but they preferred it to be just me and Alex. This is the first choice. It's what they truly wanted, and the public clearly wanted it. It's been something people have been asking me about for months, and it's still happening this week." Despite the seeming rush to decide the matchup, it made sense. Hill stressed that the match between Pereira and himself is a highly anticipated and compelling fight involving two top fighters in the division prepared to offer explosive action, even if it was not the UFC's first choice overall. Hill thinks it is their top choice among the alternatives on the table. He underlined that the last-minute nature of the booking is not Pereira's or his fault, and asked any criticism to be focused on the UFC for how the situation was handled. Hill acknowledged the doubters and expressed excitement about proving himself in his forthcoming fight against Patton this spring. He stressed the importance of being considered for the UFC 300 main event, describing it as a tribute to the faith placed in his ability and expressing thanks for being given such a prestigious spot on the bill. 9 competitors from UFC 298, including middleweight co-headliners Robert Whittaker and Paulo Costa, might face long medical suspensions. According to the California State Athletic Commission, Whittaker, who defeated Costa in the co-main event by unanimous decision, is suspended for 180 days or until cleared by a physician due to a probable hand fracture. He is also banned for 60 days due to a laceration in his right eye and foot. In addition, a hard bout carries a 45-day obligatory punishment and a 30-day no-contact ban. Costa, who lost to Whittaker, faces the same 180-day sentence due to a likely fracture in his right foot and left leg. Mackenzie De Lima Vera and Cejudo were also given a 180-day punishment. It was surprising that Alexander Volkanovski only earned a 45-day medical suspension despite the horrific knockout loss. Mackenzie Dern experienced a tough unanimous decision loss to number 3 ranked strawweight challenger Amanda Lemos at UFC 298 in Anaheim last weekend. Duran's second straight defeat, and 4th in her last 6 fights, came in this 3-round bout. Despite the setback, the UFC 298 commentary crew did not criticize her performance, which differed from the prior occurrence in which Duran was clearly sad following a loss in an Instagram post about the result. Duran thanked the supporters and recognized the disappointing result. She mentioned that the findings did not meet my expectations. "Thank you for all of your help. I love what I do. It is time to repair the faults and continue the hard work." Congratulations to Amanda Lemos for an incredible fight of the night for us, despite the loss. During the post-fight news conference, UFC CEO Dana White commended Dur's toughness. White claimed that there was fear about a possible broken orbital throughout the fight, especially after D went down with an eye injury. He did, however, praise D for overcoming difficulties, saying, "I'm shocked that it's not broken. She's quite tough." She's great. With a 1-3-5 record and approaching her 31st birthday, Duran's career is at a crossroads, and her return to the octagon later this year will almost certainly require tweaks and strategic considerations in order to reverse her recent run of defeats. UFC CEO Dana White openly expressed uncertainty about Conor McGregor's future with the promotion during a post-fight press conference following UFC 298. McGregor, a former two-division champion, has been absent from the octagon for over 2 years since breaking his leg in a bout against Dustin Poirier. Despite McGregor's apparent recovery and return to training, White revealed that there has been no official announcement regarding his next fight. When directly asked if he believes McGregor will return to action, White provided a candid response: "If you had loads of money, would you be sitting here right now asking me this question? No, you would not. That's just answered your question," White remarked, alluding to the financial stability McGregor has achieved. White acknowledged the complexities of dealing with high-profile athlete like McGregor and admitted uncertainty about his return to the UFC. He highlighted McGregor's substantial financial success, stating, "Conor has got a lot of money. Anytime we get Conor, we'll be happy, we'll be thrilled when he comes and fights. Money confuses many things." The UFC president also cited McGregor's recent part in a film, implying that the Irish fighter has other commitments to complete, despite McGregor's wish to fight this year. White stayed careful about making concrete pronouncements regarding his return, despite acknowledging the difficulties of working with McGregor. White recognized him as one of the most important business partners the UFC has ever had. He praised McGregor's company acumen and stated that, when it comes to producing money, McGregor has been a great partner for the group.